We've waited 2 years for music's next big girl group to release their first album, and here it is. Question is, was it worth the wait? Join us as we go track by track through FLO's debut album, Access All Areas.
Special shout out to our Patreon producers, Emily, George, Lily, Louie, Juliet, and our newest producer, Jonathan. Yay!
Hi.
Welcome. Hi. You can also become a producer if you join us at patreon.com/cctvpops, and you can discuss everything with us and help us choose episode topics as well.
Yeah, so here we are, all of us, CCTV producers included, and our CCTV crew here on YouTube. Finally, I feel like everyone on YouTube who likes pop music is talking about this album. I've seen a lot of people, our mutuals, talking about FLO and AAA. So now we have both seen AAA. We have both seen FLO. I mean, they are AAA artists. Let's be real here. AAA S class. Let's be real here. But yeah, we've both seen them, and I remember watching them. We've had a whole episode about them being like, you know, their debut, like their progress. And from then to now, there's definitely been a growth in confidence and movement. I want to say stylistically, because if y'all watch that old episode, I had a huge gripe with how they were getting styled, but everything feels a little bit more cohesive, sounds cohesive, and I'm excited about that. We've been getting teased quite a bit. So, you know, keeping us fed a little bit. Nothing crazy, but they've been giving us little, you know, hors d'oeuvres here and there.
Yes. It does feel like it's been more than 2 years since Cardboard Box came out, because they actually have accomplished quite a lot. Like, it's kind of crazy they were able to do a full, like, world tour. They opened for Kalani. They basically released enough music up to this point to make up an album.
Yeah.
And it's a solid, that would also be a very solid album. I still love that first EP as well. Like, every track on that is just like, oh, it's so solid. Good. So yeah, I'm really excited that their album is finally out. And it's getting a lot of good reviews and stuff. So yeah, excited to talk about it. It's all I've been listening to for the past couple days. So
yeah, so let's get into it, y'all. So the album's concept is, I guess they want to say they want to give access to them as a group, which is nice. I love the concept of access all areas and then like the unlocked. I think that's cute. So yeah, after a few EPs and tours, FLO finally released their debut album. Oh my gosh, this month, November, on the 15th. And the group was formed with the plan to continue the legacy of girl groups. If you're a girl group stan, you already know. So let's find out if the album holds up against some of the greats. Okay, let's see. We go track by track and discuss production, vocals, lyrics, and give our ratings for each song. Feel free to join us, be civil, because honey, music is subjective, all right? And we're gonna give our opinions and such. I love when you say it. You're so nice when you say it. But yeah, let's get into it. Like, let us know your ratings. Drop them in the comments, DM us, all that good stuff. Let's do it. Track by track.
Yes. Starting with track 1, we have the intro featuring Cynthia Erivo, and this was done by MNEK, Kieran Bedminster, Curtis Kansa, Relit, and the members of FLO, Georgia, Stella, and Renee.
Yay! Oh, right. This one is nice because I feel like this intro sounds like the band versions of their Vivo performances, which is nice because they have, I feel like the attention that has come toward them is not just because of like Cardboard Box and how it looks like Sugar Babes, but because their Vivo performances have been so solid. It's like, holy crap, this is what live music should sound like. Like, I remember us watching a couple of videos and be like, why don't K-pop groups do this?
Yes. I still watch some of those performances, like that Feature Me one.
Yes, I think you know it. I think I was at your house one time. You were singing. I was like, this guy is great. Like, his memory is so good. But yeah, I think it is a great idea to start this album with an actual intro like this, an introduction by someone who is vocally amazing. I think you've raved about her to me. I haven't like really seen her myself. I've heard her voice. Obviously, she's really good, but you've said that you really enjoyed her. I mean, now Wicked's coming out, right? So it's like all this, it's perfect timing, but also it's just the speech in the beginning about the great singers, you know, of yesteryear. It was so cool. I was like, ooh, yes, give me that introduction. It sounds grand. It sounds like one of those old school introductions to like a girl group like the Supremes or something like that. I think it just sounds classy and retro. The flourish, just the grandness of everything. It plays great homage, but then as an official, like, we're not trying to copy kind of vibe. And I enjoyed the direction of the intro. I think it's very well thought out and very thoughtful. And of course, the girls sound amazing on it. But I think the whole concept, that first song has to do something. It has to. You can't just be like, oh, here's the album. I mean, you could, but it has to be either your best single or your best thought track. And I think it's like the best, well thought out concept of a track.
Yeah, it does such a good job of building the anticipation because you can just feel it. It is building up to something the whole time. And Cynthia was such a good choice. It sounds like she was actually a late addition because on the vinyl version, I think it's them just kind of saying it or something. It's not Cynthia. Because, vinyl, you have to submit those tracks months in advance to get them printed. So yeah. But yeah, so smart to get Cynthia because not only is she also like a British, Black female artist, but she's also a respected vocalist, like you said, and she's about to have a huge moment, or is having a huge moment, despite some of the PR kerfuffles. But despite that, I think I have full faith that she's going to be amazing in the Wicked movie. So yeah, and of course, we are huge girl group stans on this show. And so the fact that they kind of reference like Destiny's Child and Sugar Babes kind of right in the beginning and set their mission, like, of course, I'm supportive of that. And anyone who loves a girl group, I think will naturally be supportive of that right away.
Yes.
But yeah, like you said, I love that it references the kind of Motowny-ness, the kind of, I think someone did mention Dreamgirls in like one of the interviews that I read as well, because it does have the horns and kind of that slinkiness there, and it's twinkly. But then the melody and stuff feels more modern, and then the heavy bass line and stuff feels more modern too. So yeah, just a really cool balance. And I love that it's a pretty long intro as well that can kind of stand on its own because it gives itself time to breathe and really build up that anticipation. So yeah, I think this is a great intro for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Oh God, right off the bat,
great start.
I know, right off the bat, sickening. I will give this one I was on the fence, right?
Okay.
I've stopped giving out so many 0.5s. I'm gonna give it fudge. I'll give it the 8.5. This one I liked. I'll give it the
There's
8.5.
nothing wrong with a 0.5.
Yeah.
Because I will match you. Actually, I'll also stick with an 8.5.
So I was fighting for my life with this one. Oh God. Next up is a AAA, the title track, Access All Areas. And this was done by Pop One Cell, Rajay Shahed, Emily K, and Tina Marie, and of course the girls of FLO. This song samples and interpolates Portuguese Love by Tina Marie. Yes, Lady T! We love a good Lady T. This one, how do you feel about this one? Because just right off the bat, everyone say thank you to Renaissance Act 1. Thank you, Renaissance Act 1. The seamlessness.
The transition. Yes. Honestly, the transitions throughout this album are awesome. I will say the first time I listened to the album, I was traveling and it was just like kind of on in the background while I was doing other stuff. And so I was kind of like, ooh, like all these songs, I like that all the songs run into each other, but I can't really tell them apart. So that it all just kind of blended together. So it did take a few listens for me to then kind of differentiate between everything. But as a listen, love the transitions. And this does build the energy immediately following all the anticipation that you get from the intro.
Yes.
But there's still a lot of tension throughout the whole thing. Like, it's still kind of sexy and slinky, and it doesn't ever fully get to like 100% with energy. And I love that, just like sequencing wise, because then the whole album does take you on a ride. It does continue the kind of live band feel of the production. I love that pre-chorus with like the cymbal hits and stuff, because that's just going to hit so hard live. And I hate when people reserve that type of stuff just for the live versions. Like, that can be in the studio version. It's like, it's okay.
Oh my God. I was telling someone about that. I was like, please don't wait. Just do it now.
But yeah. The ride, like I said, is just so good. Like, it starts off kind of soft, and the ad-libs and the belts and the runs don't fully come in till the end. And there's so many little things in the background vocals. Like, there's breaths, and there's whispers, and there's harmonies. And, like, each time I listen to the song, I hear something new, which is awesome. And I would say that for a lot of this album. honestly. But this one especially, because I think it continues what the intro was doing with the references to the different eras with the Motowny horns. But then you have the kind of 90s-ish kind of piano, and then you have the whispering that was so prominent in pop and R&B, you know, like in the 2000s and stuff. Yeah. And so it still sounds modern, though, because then the arrangement and the song structure and everything are kind of like not as classic. So I don't know. I think the whole thing is just like really smartly done.
Yes.
And I love that it's like a sexy access all areas. You know, like you can access all areas.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I agree. I think the biggest strength of this group, not just their singing. Obviously, we know they can sing, but every comment. When I tell you, comments are very telling about what people think. I always hear, "Oh my God, Renee's face card. Oh my God, Stella's blah blah blah." These girls, their whole look and image is just what people talk about. They have very distinct faces, distinct voices, distinct body types. Just you can see yourself as a young woman, or even as like a fan of pop music, and be like, "Listen, this girl is serving tea, she's serving body, she's giving whatever." You can feel whatever they're selling. You get that from this group, and I think that's a really good like testament to whoever put them together. Great job, because you can have people that are clashing, and these girls don't clash. I mean, Georgia is like super tall, and the other two are like kind of short and they're like mid-size, and it just works. And I think them talking about like. One of my favorite lines in the song is like, "If I give you everything, it better be everything, not just anything." And I'm like, yes, because they look like, oh, we're outside. Like, no, they're not. You can still be beautiful and classy and still want to engage in a little bit of coitus. And that's what the song's about. And there's nothing wrong with that, honey. And I do believe Seven Streeter did write on it, if I'm not mistaken. Seven Streeter, she posted on her Instagram that she wrote this, and I think part of this in Caught Up. I don't know why she wasn't like officially. I don't know what that's about. But she did mention that she had a part in AAA. But yeah, she's one of, if you don't know who Seven Streeter is, she hasn't had like a huge moment like Money Long or Victoria Monet, but she's like a really good singer-songwriter in terms of giving you sensuality, giving you intimacy, and then giving you big moments, because she herself will give you runs and belts at the end of a song. So that being said, like her pen game is undeniable, and I can hear some of what she would do, especially like with that last few choruses. Georgia takes them to church. Like I remember saying that to you, or like being like, "Oh my God, she's so good!" Like at the concert, because yes, you have Renee with her alto, you have Stella with her more like nonchalant, effortless, floaty kind of approach. But then Georgia, she brings a little bit more of that soul where she can belt out notes. They all can sing very well, but it's always good to have that powder keg. That's something that makes you go boom at the end of the song. And this song needs that. You have all these horns. You have that ba-da-ba-bum-bum-ba-dum in the beginning. You're singing the vocal hook. That's a production hook. You need something. Once people get like used to hearing all of the grandioseness of it, to really take it another level, bring it home, because the song's already big. Yeah. You need that. And then, again, everything, the arrangements of the vocals is just so satisfying. I think this song is really salad. It's valid like salad. Damn it. It's valid like salad. And that's why I will give this one the 9 that I almost gave the intro. I almost gave the intro 9 like an idiot.
I mean, the intro's great. But yeah, I also give this a 9. I think this is up there with their discography for sure so far. Yeah. And then I think the music video also was super fun. Like I love how authentic it feels, spontaneous, even though it probably wasn't, at all. And a little hangover twist in the middle is funny. It's silly. It's good to see them not take themselves too seriously, because I think if you watch the other music videos, like Walk Like This, it's in check. Yeah. Like it looks like they take themselves a little, like really seriously. So I think this was good to just show a different side to them. And I love the shot of them walking to the stage near the end as well.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think this video kind of just helps with the image that the next song gives off. How cool and chic they are. I like these girls. Yeah. These are fun.
Yeah. I will say with the credits, blame Genius, because I got these right away, like right on like Friday when the album came out. I am looking. They have since updated everything to be, I guess, more accurate. So if we missed out any people, I apologize.
Honestly, if we miss out on any people, we do apologize, but also we're like one of the only shows that actually shout out songwriters and producers. So show us some mercy, but check our catalog. We've been there. Moving right
Yes,
along.
okay. Yes, we have In My Bag featuring GloRilla, which was done by Waves, Taylor Parks, Laura Anderson, Albin, Tengblad, Grant, and GloRilla. And this is, I guess, the lead single, like the main single from the album. So yeah, what do you think?
This one feels like they're being like, listen, we want the Americans to really like this. I mean, American fans like y'all. You don't have to try too hard. But I mean, GloRilla's having this amazing year. She is one of the female rappers that you like to talk about manifestation. This woman, every one of her tracks is like, yeah, Glo, get him, Glo. You got this, Glo. Like, her songs are very much like, I can do this. And it's like, she's perfect. It's like, she's had a great year. She's great to have. She's big here in America right now. She's the hottest thing. And she also fits the concept of this song. Like, yeah, they could have gotten a Meg Thee Stallion or like maybe Ken the Man. They could have got a bunch of other female rappers, but Glo is the biggest one. And she has the personality that fits the cheekiness that this song is kind of giving. Because the song is very braggadocious. Oh, there goes that word. The song is very braggadocious. It is... it's interesting because it sails right in from the previous horns that we were getting. And like, I love the melody of the verses of like the all right, okay, all night, all day. Like the first verse with Stella and Renee is super catchy. The song is confident and is assertive lyrically. They're not the type to really like bark a vocal out at you. It's a little bit more like chill and like in the back of the throat and like they kind of, it sails out their mouths. The girl singing on the hip hop influence beat with then Glo rapping over the strings. I was like, oh, that's a cute little switch up. It makes for like a nice like little bit of a bridge moment too. And then we get a switch up of a Jersey club beat. Like there's a lot of things going on in terms of production, but it's all cohesive. And I really do enjoy that because you have hip hop that's contemporary. You have some of those strings and those jazzy elements, funk, rather soul, whatever you want to call it, there from like the previous track. You have Jersey. You have a lot of things going on. And it's just overall like nothing crazy is happening like vocally, but still it's modern. It's cool. It kind of like ties in with the Fly Girl kind of energy, but it's a little bit more hip hop oriented. So I think it's good for them to have a song like this because it's not the topic of discussion is not foreign to them. It's just a different kind of approach. So I appreciate that for sure.
Yes, and it's refreshing lyrically in an album that's mostly kind of relationship driven to just have a song that's just kind of fun.
Yes.
And not about anything like that.
Yes.
I will admit though, this is not my favorite single of theirs and might actually be one of my least favorite songs on the album, actually. I think because it does feel like it's from one of those sessions that was like, we need a really catchy single. It just feels like that, like with the chorus and the repeats and stuff. I think they do it well. I just think it just doesn't stand out to me as much as some of the other stuff that comes on this album. And it does feel more modern as well, which I appreciate. Because obviously a lot of the other stuff on this album does feel kind of throwbacky to various eras. So I think it's good to have some songs that also just firmly just kind of put them kind of where the sound is right now. So I understand it from just a commercial standpoint. But just for my personal taste, this is not a favorite of mine on this album. Because I think the overall melody is just like okay. Like it's very kind of singing talky. I don't know what the right term is, but like there's just not much to it. And of course there are harmonies and stuff in the In My Bag repeats and they do elevate it where they can, but just in the song, just innately, it just doesn't have that much to it. I do love GloRilla's verse though. I think it's super fun. Really great choice of a feature here. And it does elevate the song just a lot. Like the driving beat, the strings, like you mentioned, like all of it has a really cool kind of just cadence to it. So yeah, it's grown on me since I first heard it. Yeah. And I love the music video. I think the music video, like,
they're terrible thieves.
Gives budget. It gives budget. The concept is so fun. They look amazing in the performance moment. Like that choreo is like definitely the most difficult choreo they've done so far. And they totally execute it pretty well. Honestly. And there's like quick hands and stuff in it. Like they do a really good job. I'm very proud of them for that.
Yes.
So yeah, I appreciate it as a single. I don't know if it's enough to convince new people who maybe don't know who they are. And this was the first song they heard. Would it make them
change their
want
mind?
To hear more? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the video, I don't know. Like they're terrible thieves. But again, I am so happy that they've been styled in nicer outfits because the whole like dressing them like my early millennial sister when she used to make quick runs to like Rainbow or 2Q before going to the club was freaking crazy. I refuse to let it go. I love Rainbow, but we're not dressing the girls like we're going to Rainbow, okay? We got to give them something nicer. But they actually were dressed nicely. I mean, it still looks, I don't want to say grown up. Like, they're obviously grown women. But oh, God. Oh. But yes. The video does help elevate the whole track, but you're right. Does it stand alone well? I think for the style and for the thematic elements of it, I do appreciate it. It does sound contemporary. I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8.
Wow, our scores are very consistent so far. I mean, I'll still give it an 8. I don't think it's a bad song.
That's the thing.
Their standard is just very high.
Yes, that's the thing. Oh, man. Speaking of high standards, I don't know if this next track actually met it. It still doesn't meet it. I'm not sure. But the next track is Walk Like This. And this was done by Kaba, Talay Riley, Emily K, Relit, Ashton Sellers, and Georgia Renee and Stella. And this was released as the first single from the album back in March 2024. And I remember us reacting to it. Has your mind changed at all since then?
Not really. I think it's grown on me just because I just keep listening to it and it's catchy and I can kind of sing along now. You know, so in that kind of sense, it has grown on me a bit. But similar to what I said about In My Bag, I think it just feels, again, like one of those sessions that was like, we need a hit. A little bit. And when and of course I don't mind that because obviously I want them to have hits, but I guess sometimes it just, you kind of lose some like authenticity in a way when it feels like you're doing your most to kind of make something super catchy. Like for this, the bridge is for sure my favorite moment. Like when it gets just a bit more soulful, like the harmonies are amazing. And then the way it comes back at the end too, like that, I look forward to that part the whole time. The rest of it is just like okay for me. Also like lyrically, I get it. But I don't know. It doesn't hit for me. Yeah.
Neither for me either, sir. I mean, okay, so here's the thing. Like, maybe because I can't relate, whatever. The whole, like... Maybe the whole side-to-side vibe of it is not for me. But it's just, I think what kills me are some of the lines, like I might need crutches, and like, he all up in my ribs. Like, I'm like, we don't.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Like, I don't know. There's something weird about it.
It sounds like Latrell from White Chicks. I'm like, I don't need, once you go black, you end up in a wheelchair. What the hell? That's the vibe I was getting from the lyrics. And I was like, not the crutches, but they were trying to make it sound cute and cheeky. I'm like, that's not okay. Chill out. Like it makes me
TMI.
Yeah. Like it makes me laugh a little bit and it's a little bit cringe. Like I get it to a certain extent because there is a demographic that's like, oh my God, I couldn't walk in the morning, or like, oh, my lower back. We get it. But like the point is, I don't know if I would have been like like if someone said this to me as a singer, I'd be like, bro, what is this? Like, yeah, I'll sing it because so and so wrote it, but like I don't know if it like really. Point is, I remember us listening to it and being like, this is something that Fifth Harmony could have released.
Yeah.
Sorry, Fifth Harmony could have released, which is not an insult, but Fifth Harmony. Fifth Harmony. They're known for the DICK me down, put it in me kind of songs. They became like these little hot pots of that kind of sound. So this kind of song kind of slots right in there. I will say positively, I like the production of it, like the boom clap of the beats and like the vocal sample, the woo, 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 woo. Point is, they could have gone for a neo-soul approach to the lyrical content with the vocals. But they didn't, and I appreciate that, but I'm just not in love with the songs. And the bridge, like you said, is a highlight of the song. I don't like the video because it's so irrelevant to the concept. Like, the whole budget went to renting those vehicles. Like, I don't know who approved the concept, but whatever. But
I don't think there was much budget with this one, to be honest.
Where the cars come from, though? Because y'all wasted it. Because that's terrible.
That's what they spent the whole thing on. Yeah, I agree. The video does nothing.
It's terrible. But I love that we got a teaser for how does it feel at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. All that being said, though, 7. Keep your crutches.
Okay, I will go 7.5. I think when I first did the past, I think I actually gave it 6.5. But
okay.
I actually don't think it is a bad song. I think, like I said, their standard is just so high, and that bridge is so good that it gave it that bump. So I'll go with a 7.5.
Okay, that's valid. That's valid.
Yes. But yes. Mentioning How Does It Feel, it is the next track. And this was done by Theron Thomas, William Hood, MNEK, Sean Small, Sam Sumser, Fredo, Daniel Munoz, Jared Crum, IQ, Luke Bernadelle, and George Arade and Stella. Wow, that's a lot of people on this one.
Yeah. Might be for producers and stuff.
Yes. So they did also preview this song at like a live gig earlier this year as well. So I had heard this, like a bad fan cam of it a couple months ago. So yeah, what do you think of this one?
Okay, so I feel like this one had a nice build in the beginning. You get Renee's alto, like she holds it down. You have Stella with her nonchalant vocal delivery. And then you get George's whistle at the end. Like, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but there's different parts of this song that I, like, think about and go, ooh, yes, ooh, yes, ooh, yes, ooh, yes. I will say the song is a little bit underwhelming. The vocals do save it. But, I mean, they sing. They're singers. It is going to be saved by their vocals. Because let's be real here, the chorus itself is not it, per se. And, there's a certain oomph about it. That I could see like somebody like dancing to like just to kind of like, you know, to really like performing to it and dancing to, like I could see someone like dancing to, like, oh, I like this song for a dance class or something like that. Just something that's simple to kind of really like punctuate something, a punctuating move to be like, bam, here's the point. How does it feel over and over again? But like, I don't think that's a good thing that I have to visualize and, you know, conceptualize just for me to get into the song. Like I said, vocally, they're great. Production-wise, it's okay. It's not the strongest one that they have. The song does glower, which I appreciate. Because they're not like barky kind of girls. They're like the kind of, like, I don't want to call them dogs, but if they were growling a little bit, the song growls a little bit. It's very menacing because it's challenging a love interest. Like, how does it feel? Like, you have the best thing in front of you right now. I could do anything else, but I'm doing you. And I think that's a very confident thing. I don't care for the whole, like, your last girl was practice thing. I think that's a little bit...
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
I mean, a lot
whatever.
of the older R&B girl group songs were like that, right? So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know? I mean, it's not a huge deal, but I was just like, okay. I think the biggest thing for me was that for this kind of song, maybe a B part chorus saying I'm the girl that does A, B, and C would have elevated the track a little bit more. Because yes, you can keep repeating the same phrase, but if you don't have, for me personally, I'm not saying like this is a rule of thumb, but for me as a songwriter, if you're going to have this one main part being repeated over and over again, at least give me a B part chorus. If not the first chorus, second, third chorus, just to kind of be like, oh, we did a half chorus fake out on you. I mean, but the song is super short. It clocks in at 3:09. Like, it doesn't allow for that elevation. So it's a little shame. Like, dang it, almost just close. But I think because of the things that it's lacking and the things that I'm wishing for it, it started to kind of like deduct points for me. I was doing housework when I was doing it, and I was like, yeah, I'll leave it on, but I won't go back to it. Like,
yeah,
really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this song is okay for me. I appreciate the production, actually, because it is different from the rest of the album. There's an intensity to it.
Yeah.
And there's also like a... I don't know, like it does feel like it was kind of like filtered through water. Like it kind of has that kind of vibe to it, that kind of like wavy, kind of like, I don't know how to call that, but like it just kind of has that quality to it, which I appreciate. And I appreciate a darker moment for them as well. Like it is different from kind of the other stuff that we've heard from them before. But again, melodically, this just doesn't really do that much for me. And again, I mean that just innately in how the song is. I think I can stop saying after this that they do elevate it with all the harmonies and the vocal choices and the runs and all that. They do that in every song, and it does make the song better. So I'm going to stop saying that moving forward because that's just a given.
Yeah, at this point,
Yeah. I will say the timing of the chorus, like how does it, it doesn't like fully go on the count. And that like really threw me off. I think the first time that I heard it, because how does it feel is like on to the next 8 count. You know what I mean? So I was like oh, that's weird. But now I actually appreciate that as a choice. I was just thrown off by that, and it still throws me off sometimes when I'm not ready for it. But yeah, I don't think it's a bad song. I think it's just okay. So I gave it a 7. So C minus.
I think for me, now I think about it, Normani could release it. It could have been on her album, and that's no bueno. I mean, for Normani, it maybe would have been okay for her to do because she is a little bit more like this. But for them, I don't know. I don't want to be mean, but I'm going to be honest. I'm going to give it a 6.5 because it's just okay. And even though it's a new sound, it's not enough to save it. 6.5.
Okay. That's fair.
Up next, we have Soft. And this was done. Sorry. Soft. Yeah, Soft. And this one was done by Camper, Dixon, Emily K, and FLO. And this actually has an unlocked version. Ooh. Our first unlocked version of All Access, which features Chloe and Halle. I haven't heard those names together in so long. Oh, my God. But yes, us laughing reminds me of how people usually like, we hate when you guys laugh. We're like, it's a show. Like, I don't know what you guys expect.
Sorry, we're having fun.
Oh, anyway. This one is our first, like, take off my clothes. Mm-hmm. Take me to the bedroom. Look, that's not, I don't know why I was picking that melody.
I mean, they reference it, but you're right. This is the first, like, during it.
Yes.
Yeah. Not like afterwards.
Yeah.
or like we're about to do it. Yeah, like this is during it. Yeah. First off, have to shout out because this transition is one of my favorites. This one from How Does It Feel? The way that they did that was great. But yeah, I really, really enjoy this. I do love kind of just like a slinky, sexy R&B track like this. I feel like obviously that's just been common in R&B through the years, but more recently, those types of songs have lost the melody a little bit. They just end up like wailing over, like a trap beat, a slow trap beat. But this one does not do that. I actually heard, shout out to one of our listeners, Alex. He sent us a mashup of this and Destiny's Child's t-shirt. Yeah. Yes. And I was like, yes. They need to do this on tour. Because, it does have that kind of element to it. There's a lot of space in it. Like, even soft. And then it's like, there's some time before pillow, like, it's like, it's nice. It has a build to it. Like, it has anticipation to it. It has tension in it. And then, of course, the harmonies are super interesting throughout. Like, the oohs and ahs at the end are great. The actual song itself, it's so short, but that is solved by the unlocked version, and I will keep the unlocked version moving forward. I don't think I ever need to listen to the solo version without Chloe and Halle ever again, because their verses are awesome. They bring so much extra to just everything. Like, they add some new melodies. The textures between the two sisters are completely different, and just it gives the song a lot more of a ride than the original one, which feels like it's like those oohs almost feel like they're building up to something and then it ends. But then in the Chloe and Halle version, even though it still ends with that, I think the song has kind of lived a longer life at that point, so it feels like more of a climax. So I really like this one.
Yes, it is, because you hear and then nothing happens. What's all that It's like, did you finish? That's what it was giving, the original version. And then the Chloe Halle version.
It was quick.
Yeah, the Chloe Halle version's giving, that was great. Like, it's giving don't stop, like, so, listen, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's the song's over, excuse me. Whatever. So aside from that, I think this guitar in this one is playful, and I like that. We are getting concert transitions at this point. It's beyond just like, the DJ's mixing it. It feels like a band could be like, stop, like, goes crazy.
That's right.
But we're winding down a little bit. I think just thinking about the whole album, just getting a little bit ahead of myself. You and I complain that there's too many like ballad sections in K-pop and pop music. There's like a ballad section. And you're like, oh my God, get me out of here. This song, like Soft or like Losing You.
Ooh.
Things like that, I wouldn't mind those songs kind of being like around each other. But this on the album, it gets slow. This is the only kind of real, baby making moment that we get and they're over it, and it stinks because it comes and it goes, and that's it. They're like, we're not here to lay on our backs. I love that for you, but I'm like, dang it, it's so good. I feel like the song just feels full and atmospheric, which why it sounds to me like a live band version in a sense. Like something about it feels like we were in the studio. It feels so real and natural. Shout out to the mixing on this because there's reverb in places. I'm like, why is that there? Oh my God, am I in an arena right now? And I love that. And I have to say the soft pillow, soft mellow, and then soft shallow. Why the heck are you talking about Jello? It's the enunciation that matters. Jello is not the word I would use to describe my pum pum, but again, it works because of the enunciation of the track. Stella just made it sound so like snackish. Like she made the snack sound snackish, and I was happy about that. The bridge and outro, like I said, is euphoric. Those Oz are a tease. But yeah, the unlocked version is superior. I said that the bridge outro thing that was happening with the two of them was great. I think the fact that those two girls being added and then the stayed there made the ending of that song, the latter half of the song, feel like so unstructurally like harmonious. I don't know how to explain it, but there was no more chorus after that. It was just straight up vocals and melody and just gone. Song's over. You know what I'm saying? It was a night well spent. That's all I'll say about that. So, yeah. So, unlocked version is superior. Are we rating unlocked?
Yeah.
Or are we just doing okay?
Hey, it's on the album.
Oh, good to know. All right, so I don't want to give them a 7 alone. It's not a 7 alone. I will say I will give with the girls on it 7.5 because I at least would have liked another chorus or something to really give me that I just finished, I arrived kind of, give me that explosion. You're almost there.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I'll give it an 8. Yeah,
nice. For that. Yeah.
Respect. And again, I'm just rating the unlocked version because I never need to listen to the other one again.
We love you, girls.
But yeah, no, I think it's solid. It brings something new for them.
Yeah.
And for this type of song, which these aren't going to be like big radio hits or anything like that.
Right.
But for this type of song, I think they do a good job. So
yes, valid.
Okay, moving on to Check. We have Styles Fuego, Rudy Sandapa, MNEK, Sarita, Leon Ware, and Curtis Robertson Jr. And Check samples I Too Am Wanting by Sarita, and it was released as the 3rd single from the album in August 2024.
This song is giving Miami bass, and I'm like, yes, the UK girlies are giving us Florida. Let's go. If you guys aren't familiar with Miami bass, if you're a K-pop fan, it's House Sweet. It's Super Love by Tinashe. So you have that kind of sound here. It's just going, it's giving. The girls are not dancers. Like, they're not going to sit there and go 5, 6, 7, 8, pop, 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 poppity, kickity, kick. They won't give it to you. But the song allows for background dancers to give it to you, for them to hit certain moments, to give you accents, to give you moments of just like hit, hit, hit. In the music video, they kind of gave you a little hit, hit, hit. The sample is interesting. Because the original is super slow and like, ooey gooey. So the way they kind of put it in there was nice. I like that this song is kind of like the superior version to Walk Like This for me. Like, it's, in my opinion, like, it's confident, it's still sexy. You're talking about the guy that makes you feel really good about yourself, and like, but also your friends were like, hey girl, listen, is he cool? Is it cool? A fellow YouTuber, Naomi Cannibal, also mentioned that this reminded her of Bills, 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 the way they keep saying check and keep bringing up check. And I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So shout out to Naomi for that. I love those. I love the idea of a song. Again, it's confident, it's sexy, but also it's very realistic. Like, I'm not sure about y'all, but I'm on dating apps. I'm real quick to be like, where you are on LinkedIn, because I need to make sure you're not crazy. That background check line, I said, yes. Yes. Yeah. I'm the first one. LinkedIn. I don't need to do the weird stalking stuff. I just need to make sure you actually have a job and that you're real. That's it. None of this little weirdness. Hey. Gotta stay safe out there, y'all. And I love the video. It's so cute. It has the quote unquote coquettish styling that was popular during the summer and springtime. All of last year. Screw it. All of last year. And I love that pink silk room, the performance, because it reminds me of Check On It. Like the whole,
yes,
you know, it was super cute. And again, like this is why artist development is so important. Like the girls went away. Obviously, they were making this album, but you can tell they were actually practicing like their dancing because like they're dancing and they're performing to the camera so well. The chemistry is really stinking good. Georgia gives us a whistle note, and she's just sitting on the floor going, her mouth open, and then she closes it and goes check. And I'm like, I love that she didn't look awkward though. And I'm like, that's really important. So I really do enjoy it. One negative of the whole like promotional period of the song, side note, sorry, but in the Viva performance, I hated the way that Renee was styled. That's it. I just when you thought we could trust the stylist, they throw her in a Skims outfit. I'm over it. But aside from that, cute song, love the song. She's great.
Yes. I really like this song. What made me love the song, though, is that live acoustic version that they did on Radio 1. Oh, my God. That version is so good. I listened to the acoustic one more than I listened to the regular one, I would say.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Check On It. They referenced Check On It in it, which makes it even more amazing. But yeah, I think this is awesome because you mentioned kind of some of the influences, but it also has like a UK garagey kind of thing to it too. Like it's kind of a mix between that, so it feels kind of British too, which I appreciate.
British.
And yeah, I appreciate the other production elements too, because obviously that drum beat gives a lot of energy, but then kind of the other elements are a little bit more ethereal to it. So there's just a nice balance, I think, in the back. Chorus is super, super catchy. I think, again, you know, I said with the other singles, it does feel like they were like, we need a radio hit. But I think in this case, the song is strong. Like I think the song innately is strong and it feels authentic to them and it sounds like they're having fun with it as well. So I don't know. I think this one just works a bit better than those two singles we've already talked about. Just a bit more. But yeah, I think it's really good. I think the post-chorus especially is really good, and that part especially feels like a throwback to some of the older girl groups as well, because that's just a moment that I think is just quite common back then and not as much now. And yeah, the music video does feel like a 2000s music video with the pink cloth rooms and even the slumber party concept. Like most girl groups have something similar to that, if it wasn't exactly that.
Classic.
Yeah, I think it's good, and they do look like stars in that video. So yeah, they're whoever's doing the performance coaching or whatever has done a really good job these past few years. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I think in the context of the album, I think this is actually the best song on it as a whole. And I think it is up there with some of my favorite songs of theirs previously as well. So I will give it the 10.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Ooh. As a fellow background checker, I think I might actually match you on that. I'm going to officially match you. I'll give it the 10. I think this is the one I'm like, ooh, it stands out on the album. I really do like it. I sit there and go, check. I actually referenced the whole background check thing when I talked to my friends about dating apps. So yeah, let's go. I love that line. That one sold me out already. 10. All right, so moving right along to On and On. Not to be confused with the Flo Rida version or the Erykah Badu version. This one was done by Dante Jones, UV Killingham, Matej Dahakovsky, and
Jarkovsky.
Javkovsky, MNEK, and Kate Cabo. I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, I really like this one. As I keep listening to the album, this is one I keep going back to. I think it's definitely a standout. And part of it is because it totally feels like a 2000s girl group song, like in every way. Melodically, structurally, I can think of like a bunch of girl groups that could sing this song. And I think vocally, too, is a standout for me. I think it does a great job with all three tones, and you can hear all three tones really well. And kind of the differences and their strengths there. Yeah. And then, of course, you know, great harmonies, as always. And I also appreciate the level of sexy in this, because it doesn't go as far as Walk Like This, where it's almost like, okay, like, calm down. It's sexy, but it's not, I don't know, there's like a pensiveness to it. So there's just some more dimension to it, which I appreciate. And yeah, this is just one that I keep turning to.
Oh, that's valid. That's so funny. I actually have a note here that says, I appreciate this song doesn't talk about crutches and wheelchairs, like walk like this.
Yeah, same page.
You know, like again, the Latrell treatment, I'm good. But yeah, so Feature Me is a standard of sexy for their songs for me. Like
it's probably my favorite song of theirs.
Good, you know, like so. This song could stand up next to it because it's more quiet and confident. Not talking about those crutches, like I mentioned. I do agree with you. It does sound like a girl group, like a 2000 girl group. It also sounds like something Maya would have released way back when. It just has a good throwback sound to it, for sure. And when I think about this song, I feel like it is very like, it's not ooey gooey, but it's something about it is just, it builds nicely. I'm just trying to think of the word that fits. But anyway, I love the line, I might give you a show if you play the role. Like, I love like lines like that because it's not like super complicated, but again, it just sets the tone. I'm allowing you to have parts of me. And I'm like, ooh, honey, love this. And like the songwriters do a good job of not bashing preachy things over the head, but making sure that the listeners, that the girls, that whoever, the love interest understands that what's happening is a gift. That what they have in their singing is a gift. The bridge arrangement is my favorite. Them singing lines and having the ad-libs between them is really good. Like, I would say like this is one of the like separately cohesive songs where like they're not singing together all the time, but when they do in that old school 2000s way, it's really good. Like, there isn't a lot of huge vocal moments or like a lot of melisma, but the delivery makes the song feel whole. This is like the most fleshed out song.
Yeah.
It's most fleshed out song. I will say that by this point, I'm getting a little bit like, okay, with the whole like DICK me down concept. Like, okay, cool. I get it. But that's kind of why like the points might get a little bit deducted because after a while, I'm like, okay, give me a little bit more than I'm a sexually viable option. Like, there's so much other, you know, like you can keep the melody, keep everything, but what else could have happened if you picked a different kind of, they say, like, thematic element as opposed to your body.
I think this is one of the last tracks kind of
that
about
does that.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, dang. But by this point, I'm like, okay, this is track what? I said 8? This is track 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's fair.
You know? So
okay.
My point kind of got a little a small deduction. Nothing crazy.
Okay.
So I gave it a 8.5.
Okay. Yes, I will do the 9.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Okay, yes. Moving on to Bending My Rules, which was done by Camper and Dixon. And this was released as a promotional single in August 2024, along with a Vivo Live performance. And this also has an unlocked version, which features Dixon.
I love the unlocked concept. It's so cute.
Yeah.
This one has such a neo soul feel to it. Like, if you were someone who listened to neo soul, you could hear like Go Appel or what's his name? Music Soul Child singing something like this. It's very like,
oh yeah.
It's, you know, like, you know, but if people don't really look those people up and listen to their song and then come back to this one, you'd be like, oh yeah, I see. Yeah, it has a nice neo soul kind of feel to it. The pause in between the chorus and the pre-hook had me looking at my phone like, wait, what happened? The pause threw me off. I was like, wait, where's it going? But that empty moment makes it just feel like, you mentioned anticipation. I love that it's building. I think Money Long at one point mentioned that songwriters don't really play with the music as much or like really understand what the production's doing. And I think Dixon may have been like predominantly the predominant writer on this if he's on it as well in the unlocked version. But he seems to have an understanding of the tension that's being like called to, and he answers to it really well. I will say him on the track was like Otato. Like, no offense to him, but his voice adds a great perspective of the men's voice to kind of make it sound like, oh my God, like they're in love. I love that for them. Yes. But just tonally speaking, I wasn't like, wow, I need to go and listen to his solo stuff. Yeah. And I hate to be like that, but for me, I was like, dang, I wonder what it would have sounded like if someone who had I don't know, or maybe a boy group, I don't know, but something was just, doesn't mean he's a bad songwriter. But I was like, his voice, it just sounds, I don't say generic, but it sounds just satisfactory.
I see what you mean.
added to the storyline of the song, but just not to the sonic. And that was just my opinion. So people were like, oh, he just slid on the track. Good friend for sliding, but I need more than sliding. And you're talking about love and
yeah, just maybe just more, just kind of not soul, but just like more texture, maybe
something,
just kind of throughout the verse.
Yeah.
I know. I see what you mean. Because I agree with you. I like the version with him on it, but I don't need that one. Yeah. I'm fine with the live one and then the studio, just the solo version. I really enjoyed this since it came out. I remember actually being quite excited because I wasn't too impressed with the singles that we had heard this year. So this one kind of brought my love for them back a bit more. And it does feel like also that it could be on Destiny Fulfilled as well.
Yes, I have it in my notes too. By the way, guys, we did review that album. We did review that album. So
no,
make sure we did not review that album. Sorry, we gave a whole Destiny's Child overview. I mean, we listened to the album and gave our opinions about that era. So definitely check out our Destiny's Child Pop 101, the whole discography history. We sorry, y'all, but like I like.
If you want a track by track, I'm down.
Right. Yeah,
let us know. But yeah, I think vocally they executed it so well. Like they sing super delicately in it. The harmonies are awesome. Like even though they're just repeating that nobody, like they're just repeating that over and over again towards the end, but they do something different every single time. And especially with the live version, it's super impressive because like they know which riff is coming next. Like they're like all on the same page, even though it repeats like a billion times. But each time it's exciting because it's different. So I appreciate that. And production wise, love the electric guitar. There's like a funky bass in there. The horns are back. There's just some great little moments in there because it brings it back to kind of how the album started, where it's just a bit more raw and organic. And then as we kind of finish out the album, there's not as much of that anymore, especially with the next few tracks. So it's good to just kind of throw it back to that for a minute. And I appreciate how just sweet the lyrics are without being super cheesy. I do enjoy the concept of, normally I'm like, I have this hard exterior or like whatever. I judge people, but then in this case, you're like making me,
on the inside.
reevaluate everything. I appreciate that just as a lyrical concept as well. So this is a standout for me. I will give it a 9.
Yes, vulnerable FLO. Love her. We love her. Okay? Love her. So I will give her, oh, shoot. I didn't give it a low score. I think I went a little too high. It's not like my favorite, but I'll give it a 9. I gave it like a 9.5 earlier, but I was like, I'll give it a 9. Yeah. I'll match it. This time I like a legit will match you. Yeah.
Okay.
I won't go too high.
Okay.
All right, y'all, moving right along to Trustworthy, the song I probably would have given a 10 if it was longer. This is an interlude. This was done by Nova Wave, Morton Reese Ristrop, MNK, Silky, Brittany Coney, Blue June, and the girls of FLO. Maybe I should change my stage name to something more complicated because maybe I'll get like something. I need something like Ristorp as a last name. It sounds very like.
Yeah, that's a cool last name.
Yeah, very cool last name. But yes, Trustworthy. Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm sad this wasn't a full song either. And I've seen that quite a lot across the comments as well. Like, why did they leave this as an interlude? Because it really does feel like it's building up to something and then ends. And it's like, oh my God, what happened? There's so many writers on this. What happened? Maybe there'll be some other deluxe version where we get a full version, or maybe they'll do a full version on tour. So I don't know.
You're ridiculous.
But yes, it deserves it. Because, it's so pretty. Like, it's essentially this, like, piano ballad with strings. Yeah. And again, the background vocals are just so dynamic. That's probably my favorite part of this whole thing. And the whole thing just sounds very warm. And it's different from the rest of the album. Like, I don't understand why they decided to keep this one as an interlude.
Bro, like I said, the reason the song previous got a 9.5 because then I heard these two next to each other and I was doing some housework and I was like, ooh, and because the songs seamlessly blend, I had thought it was like.
Oh, just like the end of,
I don't know what I was thinking. I just thought they were having a moment where it was just kind of them kind of riffing off of the nobody into you can trust me kind of thing. But that's why Trustworthy, I feel like purposely made an interlude. I get it. Because you went through this whole emotional thing. Like, I don't want anyone else but, nobody. And then Trustworthy, I get it. But girl, what are y'all doing? not y'all, but y'all, the team, whomever. Vulnerability amongst the confidence and the sensuality would have been such a good break. Like, it's good to be confident. It's good to be like, yo, I'm that girl, whatever. Fine. But y'all's voices can go both ways. It could lean into this very strong, very confident, nonchalant, but it could also give us vulnerability. And that's something that we haven't really gotten from them. Because even losing you, as sad as it was like, I'm better without you. This one is like, you're doubting me so much. Like, I need you to stop doing this. And that's really important to have, especially with as we go through the discography, the track list. It's like, when are we going to get you girls sounding real? And that sounds strange. Like, they're giving us vocals, but this song could have been my 10 because it's something it's real. It's not just like, I'm really hot, I'm the best girl you've ever seen. There's doubt. There's mistrust. There's almost a begging. There's an urgency of like, I need you to trust me if this is going to work. And that's really important. I think they're probably going to give it to us later on in their careers, which is completely fine. And I'm ready, I'm open. But this definitely would have been a great opportunity to round out a lot of the themes on the album for me. But it's still not bad. Lover girls just need a moment to cry. I'm waiting for that moment from them because I know I'm going to sit there with a little soul tear. Come on, think about it. Georgia would have been going off. Stella would have been going off. Renee would have... Okay, it's fine, whatever. I'll let it go. But interlude. How do you rate an interlude?
I mean, because it's just an interlude, I'm going to give it a 7.5 because I cannot rank it as high as, like, actual songs, even though I enjoy it, you know?
Damn. I wanted to give it an 8. I'm going to give it an 8. As an interlude, that could have been something bigger. Could be an 8. I'm gonna stick with my 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yes, well, the trust is definitely being questioned because next we have Caught Up, which was done by Pop Wansell, Jawzy, Cole Porter, Jay Versace, Seven Streeter, MNEK, and Georgia Renee and Stella. And this samples Night and Day by Joe Pass, and it was released as the second single from the album in May 2024.
Yeah, you know what? That now the sample, it makes sense because I was like, this sounds old. Not in the ballad, but it sounds. But y'all know what I'm talking about. They don't make them like this no more. This one is, when I saw Cole Porter as a name is a lot to live up to. But yeah, so this song is a warning. It's cool. It's collected. Most women are like, don't lie to me. I'm giving you a chance. And I love that. They aren't super heated. The song has that beginning vibe. It builds a really good story. And then the second verse, he's getting caught. This person is getting caught doing whatever it is that you said don't do in the first verse. You've already set up this introductory verse. Here's my thesis statement. Don't cheat on me or I will break up with you. Second body paragraph. You did it. But you know what ended up happening? The vocals did not reflect body paragraph sentiment. And I was like, dang it. So going back to what I was saying about Trustworthy, can they give us broken, vulnerable? Yes, they can. Because in the bridge, with Georgia leading the melody, there is some like thick, not anguish, but there's some thick, like thickness there. There's some fullness there. There's some, oh my God, I'm angry at you. How could you do this? Like, are you stupid? And I'm like, dang it, you don't get any of that until like the bridge of the song.
And that's not like, not great, but I think their image as a group is chill. It's relaxed. It's laid back girl. If you're going to break up with me, I'm not going to break the dishes. I'm not busting the windows out your car like Jasmine Sullivan. I'm just going to leave. I'm just going to pack your stuff up and push it out the door, like cardboard box kind of, you know what I'm saying? So they're not the type to get angry in the traditional sense where it's like passionately angry and like toxica, like, you know? But I think a vocal delivery with more higher stakes would have been great with the song. You know, just to kind of give a little bit of because the get caught up, it was giving attitude, but we need more passion in the delivery, you know, as opposed to like technically sound goodness. We need passion, a little bit more rawness, edge.
Yeah.
You know, so you feel the same way. Okay, we're here. I don't hate the song, but I was like, dang, something's missing.
Yes, so I think we're definitely on the same page. I feel like we may have discussed this very briefly when it came out, the few months ago. Because I think, not a lot, but I think I remember it was like, oh, they released a new single. We were both kind of like, and then kind of just moved on from it. Yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah, I will say I think it has grown on me since then. Like, I appreciate the guitar. Like, it's super reminiscent of 2000s R&B. Like, overall production does feel like a song from that era.
Yes.
But yeah, I think I'm on the same page with you in that I wanted a bit more intensity from it. Because I think if you just have it on in the background, you're not paying attention to the lyrics, you have no idea what it's about and no idea that it's actually like a warning in any way. So there just doesn't feel like
Not
there's
My
that
Job
much intention.
does that. What this is trying to do, and it did not happen.
Like, if Beyonce sang this, like, she'd be like, every single word would have some intention to it. It doesn't need to be super, like, angry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you just needs a bit more of a oomph to it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I completely agree with you on that point. I do think it's catchy, though. Like that kind of caught up moment. I was watching like an acoustic fan cam because they've been doing like acoustic shows to celebrate the album, and like that's a great audience participation moment. So yeah, I just think their standards is just so high that this song is just kind of like it compared to the rest of their singles.
Yes. Yeah. So before the fans were like, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, we do. We're not like experts, but like this is just the opinion. Like again, like I said, Not My Job has the attitude. It's telling you, if you're not going to be a man, I'm not taking care of you. This song is the same thing. If you're not going to be faithful, I'm not going to be with you. Cardboard Box also has attitude and a little bit more of a punchiness that this doesn't have.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible that it is also a choice, actually, because it could be a, like, if you screw me over, like, bye, like, it could be that, but that just doesn't, I don't know, then it just doesn't work as well for me, it just as a single, like, it just doesn't hit then, if you're gonna go for that, I don't know.
I mean, the modern girl is like that now. It's like, well, I mean, shoot, I wasn't married to him, that kind of thing. Like,
yeah, so maybe that's what they were going for. So I get that. It just, then the impact then is just not as high. But I do think, like I said, it is catchy and it has actually grown on me a lot. I do like it more than some of the other songs on the album. I just don't think it should have been a single. So I will give it an 8.
Oh, that's valid. You know what?
Yeah.
FLO has never met a bridge they can't cross, but bridge aside, song's not strong enough. I give it a 7.5. It's not terrible. I'm going to give it 7.75. Like, it's that close to an 8. But again, I think that lack of passion just snacked it down for me a little bit. All right, up next is IWH2BMX. Also known as I Would Hate to Be My Ex. And this was done by Cole, yours truly, Gabriel Davies, Jamal Woon, Emily K, Talay Riley, and the girls of FLO, and the unlocked version features Kehlani. Why are you laughing?
Gabriel Davies, not Gabriel Davies.
Oh, bruh, listen, the phonetics.
I mean, maybe. So yes, shout out to Gabe.
Yeah,
Gabriel. Gabrielle.
Yes, Gob. Go up, Gob.
Anyway, I'm gonna be honest. I'm just gonna say it. This is probably my least favorite on the album. I don't love current R&B, and this just is that. Like, this is just what that is, because it's this, like, I don't know, like, the melodies are just so like, it's just kind of like the same, like, 2 or 3 notes, just kind of like over and over again. Like, structurally, it just doesn't go anywhere. Like, this is why I don't really listen to current R&B at all, because it all just kind of sounds like this. And unfortunately, as good as their vocals are, it doesn't make me like it that much more. Like, I keep forgetting that it exists, honestly. Like, when I listen to the album, this is not one that I ever think about.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
That's valid.
So yeah, I think similar to what we said about Caught Up, I also wish the emotion in this was also amped up a bit more. Like, I think there's a moment, I think it's Renee that sings the pre-chorus. Like, she sounds super sassy in that, which I appreciate.
Yes.
But again, just that chorus, like, I would hate to be my ex. Like, would you? Would you really hate to be your ex? Like, you're not giving me anything. Like, I love me, or whatever that lyric is. It's like, do you? I don't know. Like, it's just, the confidence doesn't feel legitimate. It does feel like one of, like, a person that's just, like, trying to be dismissive and trying to come off as super confident after they broke up with someone. But, like, in truth, they're not. And maybe that's what they were going for, but I don't think so, just given the way the lyrics are written. Like, it just doesn't feel super, like, genuine in that. And I'm just kind of like, okay, like, you would hate to be your ex. Okay. I don't know. This whole thing just doesn't really do much for me. And Kalani, it's fine. It doesn't do anything to elevate the song at all. I think also because she just kind of sounds similar to them, just in the vocal execution and tonally as well. And so, I mean, her verse is fine. Like, it's fine. I don't know. Yeah. The song is just like, meh.
I said the same thing about her being on it. She's a great singer. I've liked her. She's had moments where she's actually had a little bit more interesting textures, but the whole rap singing thing, that's what's hot right now. And I think why that's a problem is not only is it very faceless and generic, but FLO did not come out here like fresh out the gate making generic R&B. They weren't trying to sound like everyone else. Their influences were very clear in the visuals and the harmonies, and there was something that set them apart in this song in terms of production quality. I love how it glowers. I love that bassy kind of scent that kind of just not stabs you, but just kind of just like it's a dull little sound that goes through the song, like a hum. There we go. It hums through the song. Unfortunately, again, the bridge. Again, they have not a bridge. They haven't met a bridge that they haven't crossed. It's great, but we can't wait for a bridge every single time for a song to get good. Like with Blackpink, we can't wait for Lisa to reverse every single time for we love this song. So the potential is there. The instrumental is cool. The girls have silky vocals, but it is too chill. Renee is the only one that brings like that pica pica, like that spice, a little picante-ness. That's it, and it's unfortunate. But I think the song is a reflection as the girls' persona, as a group. It's the U.S. sound as well, but it also just it's the tone of what a lot of girls kind of like. I couldn't be bothered, but I need you to be bothered. I need you to be bothered because if you were, because say if I would hate to be my ex, why would I hate to be your ex? Why? That's what that chorus is for. Because I'm a da-da-ba, but I'm a girl that's dumb, and I'm a girl who does it like this. I'm a blah, 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 something. You could have made it a very like low-toned group gang vocal of because I do this and I do that and I look good like this. I'm with some other guy, blah, 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 something. I would hate to be my ex. And then tie it right back in again. But again, I didn't write the song. But if I were to write it, that's probably what I would have done. Just to kind of give it a little bit more personality, to make it sound more Brad. Because what is he missing out on? What is he missing out on? The verses can't be the only thing that say it. Especially if, let's just say we're just writing this song for TikTok. Why would he hate to be your ex? That's when you throw that crap all up in the chorus and give it to us. Tell us why. But yeah, again, I think the cool girl vibe is okay. And by this point has become a little bit played out. We don't hate it, but it's just like, okay, we know you can do more. Come on, do it. Do it. So yeah, I mean, Kalani fit perfectly on it. And I don't know if that's a good thing either. I needed something that was a little bit like juxtaposed to their vocals. But not bad. It's okay. How do you rate this song?
I will give it a 6. This may be my least favorite FLO song they've ever released so far. Yeah.
Damn. I'm not going to lie to you. I also don't listen to contemporary R&B because it does not have the oomph that I want. And again, this is something that Normani could have released because it fits more with her brand of R&B. I don't think I would have liked it anymore. So I'm going to give this one... I'll give it a 5.5. I won't be mean. Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have Nocturnal, which was done by MNEK, Renee, FLO, Jacob, Talay, Riley, and Ryan Ashley. And this has an unlocked version, which features Brie Runway.
Yes.
So I think I was watching the Terrell interview where I think it was Stella that shouted this one out because it's just about like how they're always up just working all the time. And so she shouted it out as like her favorite on the album.
Yes.
Which is interesting. It's different from the rest of the album. Again, it has that same kind of intensity that How Does It Feel kind of had a little bit, which I appreciate. And it has, again, there's like a warpiness to the production that I think is fun. It makes it fun thing to listen to. And then the way they repeat Nocturnal as well, I think it's effective. And I kind of like that it all just feels a little like, I don't know, when you're kind of delirious after you've had no sleep, kind of. Like, that makes sense to me. Like, as a vibe.
That's valid.
There's a slight just kind of like, I don't know what's happening, kind of just like feeling to it, which I appreciate. Yeah. This is one that has grown on me. I think when I first listened to the album, this was one that I was kind of like, nah, kind of on. But it does stand out to me now. And I think the vocal on it is really good. I don't know who's singing it, but that first verse where it's just like just the head voice. Yeah, and then it builds really nicely after that throughout the whole song.
I think it's Renee.
And then this is, I
think so, yeah.
And this is another one where I do think the unlocked version does elevate the song, and I much prefer the version with Brie on it. Again, I think she's an awesome choice for them because she's also really having a moment, I think.
Yes.
And it totally takes it to another level and just gives it just a bit more dimension and just gives more of a ride of the song. So it's not my favorite on the album, but I do like it. It has grown on me. Yeah.
Yes. In terms of like the contemporary R&B sound, I feel like this is the stronger one of what we've gotten. Yeah. Brie, love her. Went to her concert like a couple years ago now, dang. But she's so good. And you're right, she did elevate the track. But yeah, that the whole like I don't chase no bag, a bag chase me. I catch no Z's, nothing but W's in my circle. Like those lines like that, I'm like, yes, if you're gonna talk about your money, do all that stuff, good. It's a tale as old as time, being that girl, totally. But again, this song does exactly what I wish I Would Hate to Be My Ex would do. It has the word over and over again, the title, but then, why you nocturnal? Because I do X, Y, and Z. It's that simple. I'm easy. I'm easy. That makes sense because that's all you're going to use for a TikTok sound. Nocturnal. This is why I'm nocturnal. Bam. So I think it's a stronger track, and also it does kind of tie in a little bit more of that old school like Timbaland syncopated drum programming kind of thing. So I'm just like, ooh, all right, something to listen to that's a little bit more interesting than just a humming bass line. Great. So for me, between the unlocked to the standard version, I'm going to give it like a slight average score of an 8 because I do like this song for the contemporariness of it and for them being darker, because darker them I like, but there's vocal textures as well that provide sass, provide attitude, and even a little bit passion about why you don't want lames in your circle. So 8.
Okay, I will do 7.5.
Yes.
For this one. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So moving right along to shoulda, woulda, coulda. And this one was done by Mike Brainchild, Lauren Keene, Emily K, and the girls of FLO. I think by this point, it's interesting that we haven't seen Darkchild, because I remember at the concert, they were like, we have the Darkchild record and the other song they let us.
Yeah, those were released already. That ended up being that, was it the Three of Us EP? Yeah, which I understand. I think I can see why they felt like those songs
needed to
just kind of stand on their own.
Right, exactly. So it's just interesting. I'm like, ooh, but you can hear those influences. Like this sounds like Brandy, Aaliyah, One in a Million, and Destiny's Child had a baby and made this song. Like, do you like this one?
This could be on the writings on the wall, like the way it's produced, like, for sure. Yeah, I really, really like this one. I will say, I think just because of the sequencing, I think the first time I heard it, I was just kind of like, I don't know, like I think these last few songs. I don't know. There was just something about it. Like the first time I listened to it, it maybe just kind of lost my attention a little bit, and I don't know if that's a sequencing thing, but as I've listened to the album more, this one has become a huge standout to me. It has a really good chorus. It's super catchy, and I think it could potentially be a single. Like I'll say this more kind of in the overall thoughts, but I don't really know what else could be a single on this album. But if I had to choose, this would likely be one. I will say, again, a timing thing. And again, I think this is just because I'm a drummer, but the off-time snare hits in the production really throw me off. Yeah, but Timbaland does it a bit more subtly. This one, it's really, I don't know, the way it's mixed or just kind of the way the levels are, like it's just there. And the timing, I don't know, I just don't fully understand the choice of the timing, because again, with Timbaland, I feel like he's never like completely just off. It's like, but this one's like literally feels random. Yeah, like it's not even on a like it's not on a 1E and a 2E and it's not even on any of those E andas. Like it's literally on something completely like not there. So yeah, just an interesting choice there.
Valid.
I've learned to accept it. But this is not a song I would ever play the drums for.
That's valid. That's valid.
Yeah. But yeah, again, it has a more classic pop structure. The second verse is completely different from the first verse.
Yeah.
There's all these little moments, like the bridge gives it something completely different where it's a bit more soulful. You know, the song is more than 3 minutes long. And so it has, you know, a full kind of journey that it takes you on. And then you get that beautiful string outro as well. So yeah, this one has become a highlight for me.
This one's really good. See, now all of the artists I mentioned earlier, like I like all of them quite a great deal. Like I could totally hear again the drum pattern is giving Aaliyah. The vocal delivery, I hear Brandy Full Moon, like Arrow. She was just throwing runs out, like she was doing like was what Simone Biles levels of flips and tricks on her vocals. I mean, even some of her recent releases, of course, her voice has gotten a lot more warmer, but she's still throwing out runs like, you know, like it's candy. She does not care. She's just so good. And then with the harmonies, they give me that take you to church, that Destiny's Childhood. And I love that. This song is definitely more fleshed out. I love that it comes in at freaking 3 minutes and 46 seconds. Like, oh my God. Thank you. There's nothing wrong with having a song that's long if it is good. And this is an example of a song that is actually good enough to have the length. The length is justified by the vocals, by the melodic cadences. Like literally, this is one of my favorites in terms of sounding like an old school R&B song. So you had one of my favorites for the contemporary R&B, and this is one of my favorites for the old school one.
Yes.
And it's not just about like, yeah, D me down. It's about the sass that I wanted earlier from Caught Up. Bam. Bam. Again, the bridge takes it home, but we are already on the porch with everything else. The bridge just brings us in the house. So I'm happy with this one. I'll give this one a fat ass 10.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I love this one.
Okay, I'll do the 9.5.
Love this one. Oh my God.
Nice. Okay, then we have Get It Till I'm Gone, which was done by Skips Production, Kaba, MNEK, Kieran Bedminster, Jamal Woon, Cole Yours Truly, and the ladies of FLO. And this was another one that they previewed like a few months ago at that same like random gig. So
yes. Yeah. That's crazy. Just giving us little like tidbits here and there. Right across us. This one got some sass, some more sass. I have in my notes, I'm like, did Don Richards write this?
Richard.
Was this before or after the nose?
I think she's always been
I know.
Don Richard. Yeah.
I was being silly. But
no comment on the nose.
Listen, that's one of the best noses I've seen in a minute. They did a good job, honey. They snatched her up real quick. So I like the old nose too. I digress. So this feels like something Danny Kane would have done, or even a group like Cherish. Like Cherish, when Cherish was in their little dance kind of like bag, they had moments like this. But unfortunately, we didn't get a lot of R&B focused groups after a while. Like around like the 2010s, it was quiet. Like, where are they? But the vibe is so there, so there. I love, or I appreciate rather, the melodic switch up in the second verse. And I especially love the line when Renee has to be the one to say it. Renee says, when I said it's dead, then it's R.I.P. I was like, she said what she said. She said what she said. Because she is their alto. She holds it down. She sounds like the most contemporary, like R&B that you think Normani, or you think like, I just think Normani right now. Normani's like the one in my head right now. But that voice that we think of altos, we think of a smoothness, like there's something sultry about her voice, and it's not as nonchalant as Stella. So when she says it, I was like, ooh, I feel it. Georgia's a little bit too like, her voice is thick, and you need to have that middle ground. And I feel like Renee is their middle ground in terms of the nonchalant and then the super like thick, passionate kind of tone. And I'm always just curious to know how they pick who's going to sing what line. You know what I'm saying? Because any of them could sing it, but it does matter who gets the line. It does matter. It doesn't mean someone sings worse than the other person. It just means the tone just fit it for that moment. And that's okay. Like, these girls are definitely not the heartbroken type. And like you said, they have like the fine, do you then kind of energy. And this approach is super on brand with their cool, like, girl thing. But I do believe the kind of staccato choppiness of that he ain't gonna get it till I'm gone gives it the attitude. So if you're going to be chill with the vocal delivery, make sure the melody is giving punchy. And I feel like this song does that way better than Caught Up. This could have been a single.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think this could also be a single. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, definitely. I think inherently, like you said, melodically, it does allow them to give a bit more of that kind of sass in there. So yeah, definitely appreciate that. Yes. But yeah, the production's quite minimal on this. I do wish it was a bit more intense just to kind of, again, match that. I don't know. Again, maybe I just don't fully resonate with this whole like chill, like dismissive kind of thing that I get. I get it because it's kind of like you don't want to like, I don't know, like you have a guard up or whatever. Like you don't want to like be too affected by like all this stuff happening. But I don't know, like I want more like passion in these songs. I just think they're more fun that way. Yeah. And they're more fun to listen to, more fun to sing along to, like everything. And so, yeah, I get it. But yeah, maybe that's just me. But I also wrote down that it sounds like it could be a Danity Kane song, which I love Danity Kane. Yes. I would love to do an episode on Danity Kane, actually. Yes. Yeah, the chorus is super catchy with those repeats, but there's some great background vocal harmony arrangements in there too that keep it fresh. And yeah, this is also one that I look forward to, like now when it comes up. I appreciate this kind of pickup kind of right at the end of the album. Yeah. Because it's tough with this is a pretty long album, like track number wise. So yeah, it's good to kind of keep my attention there.
Yeah. I like this one. I wish I could be in your brain to hear what parts you feel like needs more. I get what you mean. Like something is not quite there, but
I think more on the production side.
Production, yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. I get what you're saying with that. I wish I could hear what parts you're thinking because I feel like if we sat down, if you're like this, oh yeah, that makes sense. So for me, this one, I'm gonna give it a 9. I think again, this is going toward like what I like personally. Yeah. You know? So I like a little bit more of like a little fun attitude. And again, it does exactly what could have been done with Caught Up. It's the whatever. Superior version.
Yes. Okay, yes. I will give it an 8.5.
Oh, nice. All right, up next, and finally at the end, is I'm just a girl. the phrase that has been heard all over the world. All right, and this was done by Jamal Woon, Skips Production, Lauren Keene, Rashawn Brown, Emily K, Georgia, Renee, and Stella of FLO. What do you think about this one? This one is the experimental one, which I think is interesting for a final track, right? It's experimental for them.
It made me think of Power a little bit by Little Mix.
What?
Like it kind of has that kind of like rockier, like kind of more bombastic kind of vibe to it.
Yeah, that's funny.
So, you know, just another girl group, you know, to reference in the legacy there. Yeah, so this was one, I think it was Renee that mentioned this one as the highlight for her in the Terrell interview, which I was kind of surprised by, but it sounds like it's more about the like lyrical content and kind of what they were trying to portray here. Because it does sound like that they actually were up against quite a lot kind of in these past few years with the industry and everything. And I believe they actually fired their management at one point as well. So yeah, just interesting to kind of just hear about all that. And you know, I'm glad they got to write a song about it. Yeah. But taking that context out of the way and just listening to the song, I think it's fine. Like, I appreciate kind of the chanting aspect of it, the kind of anthemic feel to it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think much about this song, honestly.
I'm not gonna lie. When I heard this song, I was like, what is this?
Like in a good way.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that drum roll, I mean, I'm like what, a month fresh off of a metal show. And then like one of my favorite bands, Nightlife, is like a soul punk band. So they incorporate a lot of R&B and metal into their music. And this song is like, if they had given it to Hansel to write and finish and really flesh out, I think he would have liked it a little bit more. Because he gets the concept of combining that attitude and shout out to Hansel. He combines the rock and the R&B. Like Nightlife as a band would have ate this up as a concept. I think what ended up happening with this is maybe because it was R&B hip hop writers writing on something that it is experimental. If your genre that you release, that you write for is R&B, traditional soul, whatever you want to call it, the umbrella of, and then you get this track, your go-to is to possibly do like an R&B delivery or like a rap style delivery, which is what happened here. It wasn't leaning into that rock sound. Because I'm just a girl. That is such a weak... Again, it goes back to what I'm saying about you can repeat the title. I don't care. But give me something to really send it home in that chorus. So I think that's what was lacking in this. But I do like the song. But you sustaining a note throughout the chorus is not it. You know what I'm saying? And it went to this trap thing, which is fine. It's not terrible. But I think it's lacking proper influence from people who study the craft of the genre that they're deriving the influence from. I think it did need someone else to kind of add a certain element of, ooh, what's this? Because this is, like I said, for me, I feel like it's good. I love the lyrical content because this is real. Saying that we felt doubt from other people, the song isn't about anybody, actually it might be for somebody, that is very telling. It's still vulnerable, but it's challenging that threat head on, and I love that for them. So for me, I really do like the song. I think it's a good closer. I feel like it could be a good opener for a concert too. But either way, something about it, it's big, it's bold. It could have gone a little bit further, but my score is actually pretty high for this one. It does need a little bit of love in terms of just that chorus, but I think attitude was there, vocals was there, so. I'm not mad. And the rock chant, I'm here for that. So, yeah. Outro was a little weak, but whatever. What can you do? So for me, I'm going to give it a 7.5. I was kind of sitting at an 8, but when I heard it, I was like, oh, it's so good. But the chorus is just weak. So 7.5 for me. 7.5. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'll give it a 6.5. I'm not really feeling it. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm one of the people that the song is not for. Sorry.
But yes, no, this song is, give me some. But anyway, we are at the end of our review. I am curious to know if you've made it this far. Make sure you subscribe, of course. But let us know your rankings for the song. And we are now at the cut or keep section, which means you're going to cut or keep one song. If we could save one song and throw out one song off this album, what would it be? Be sure to let us know what you would cut or keep too, or if you agree with us or not. So, Chris, you want to kick us off and let us know what song you would cut?
Yes, I kind of already teased this because I said it was my least favorite on the album. But yeah, I would hate to be my ex. IWH2BMX. Not for me. Not for me.
That's so funny. Ooh, okay. I can see why you got rid of I Would Hate the DMX song. Dang. I can see why you got rid of it. All right, so this song for me, although I have ranked it pretty well, I think just thematically it did nothing for me, and another song could have been extended in its place. I'm going to get rid of On and On. Don't need it. Do they sound good? Yeah, but like, what have you not said already just to a different instrumental? Like, okay. Sorry.
Okay, and then what would you keep?
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. I would keep Shoulda, coulda. That one has all my influences on it. I love it. Yes, I love that.
Yeah, I think that was a good one. Yeah, I would probably pick that one or Check. Honestly,
Ooh,
I've already seen Check actually convince people about them. So, yeah, I think that's up there with all their singles for sure.
That's valid. All right, y'all. The FLO fans, Flovers.
FLO lifers.
FLO lifers. Oh, that sounds a lot better than Flovers. Sorry, y'all. Any hoodle doodle. Overall thoughts on this album. This is a solid album. I feel like it was worth the wait, and it's not a derivative of what they've done before, which I really appreciate. Because, the Feature Me EP is hard to stand up against, but when you're introducing a group and you're like, we want to show us our best stuff, their best stuff is all in one album. So it's kind of like hard to sit there and be, oh, yeah, this is more spread out. It has a longer track listing. Doesn't mean it's bad. And it's a good representation of what they sound like, who they're influenced by, and where they could possibly go. So I feel like this is a solid album. I was happy to listen to it twice through, actually. I sat there and I was like, play this stuff again. And then eventually I remembered the songs and was able to go, hey, Alexaa. You know, I don't want to say her name. Can you play this track? Hey Siri, could you play this track? You know what I'm saying? I could tell it after 2 cycles of listening. So it's good. It's good, I would say. I don't know if it beats Feature Me, because again, it's so good, but it was a solid album.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great debut girl group album.
Yeah.
I think it's a good listen from start to finish. Like, I wouldn't necessarily say it's no skips, because I would skip maybe 1 or 2 of these, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's close. I mean, I've heard much worse, girl group albums.
Yeah.
And it does a good job of showing like all their influences from across the eras. Like, we've referenced so many artists just in this review, and there's probably so many more that they had in mind as well. So yeah, I think if their whole goal is to kind of be up there with some of the greats, I think this is a great start for that. I do think it is missing that kind of one big, like, undeniable hit. Like, it's missing the Say My Name, right? It's missing the Damaged. It's missing the Round. You know what I mean? Like, it's missing that one that's so undeniable and would be an anthem that even people who are not fans would love.
Yes. Absolutely.
There's nothing. I think Cardboard Box is still arguably like the best song of theirs. And it always kind of sucks when you kind of have to always reference the very first single that they've done. It's kind of the one. And that's not to say that they haven't grown artistically or anything. I just don't think any of these songs are good enough to kind of bring them to that next level, to kind of put them closer to being on that same level as some of the girl groups that they've referenced and we've referenced. So yeah, but I think it's a great start. I saw someone else mention they were like, Destiny's Child's first album did not have like a massive hit either, right?
Yeah.
No was fine. With Me was fine.
Yeah.
So this is a great start, and I will, of course, support them as we have been already. They just announced a U.S. tour. Yeah. I will likely go to that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm really excited that they're here. They're still like the only, Western girl group around.
Word
really.
up. Not counting any K-pop made ones.
No.
Not counting any of those. No offense to them, but like they don't count right now, y'all. But yeah, dude. You are so insightful. You're right. There is no giant hit on here. There is nothing that lasted as long, Yeah,
there's no like timeless like moment.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Listeners, viewers, FLO lifers. He just dropped some bombs. Sit with it. Listen to it. Consider it. Okay? Let us know what you guys think about this album, AAA, and let us know what other albums you'd like to hear us review, because we have a whole ton, honey. And if you want to hang out with us and the crew on Patreon, be sure to sign up, okay? We have a free tier, and you get priority choice, and you can comment below or message us at CCTV Pops on all social media. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications for our YouTube channel, because we are almost at 3K. We're almost at 3K, yeah. AAA, 3K, and rhymes, it just makes sense together. Help us get there, all right? And if you're enjoying the show on a podcast platform, please give us a follow, rating, and a review. Until next time, that's Chris.
That's Chantel.
And we'll see you later. We're signing off from CCTV, the Non-Stop Pop Show. Ah!